we go.
Okay, I'm going to call it to order, and let's have a roll call, please, Gina.
Arnold,
Here.
Equit,
Here.
Cheng,
Here.
Arcapisi, absent, Linsdale,
Here.
and Sutton. So it's just missing the Andrea
You forgot me.
Arcapisi. Oh, Josh Kotsinis, yes, sorry.
Andrea and Bonnie are coming in right now.
Okay,
Let's just wait.
okay, we have a quorum.
You're in?
Yeah, they're in.
Okay, they are. Okay. All right. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance
The flag.
Wait,
to the United States of
pledge
America,
allegiance to the flag of the United States,
States
of
of
America,
America,
and to the
and to the
republic,
for which it
which
stands,
stands
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Got a fancier flag.
The Warren Newport Public Library District provides the community with access to information, kindles the imagination of children and adults, and supports lifelong learning. Would anyone like to speak in public comment? Okay, is there any correspondence?
Hey, Joe, I just want to point out before you go any further with the, you want to talk about the
Yeah.
new
Yeah, I
state?
was going to put that under correspondence. Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the governor signed another emergency act so that we can continue to meet remotely.
Okay.
And the library attorney provided us with an interpretation of that, and these are some of the changes. Ryan will jump in if I miss something. One is
Yep.
that we have to now record all sessions. So from now on, until we're done with this, we will be recording not just regular meetings, but also committee of the whole. Then the board president has to decide that an in-person meeting isn't practical and has to announce it at the beginning of the meeting. And every trustee has to say that they're present and confirm that they can hear and see at the very beginning of the meeting. So we're going to do that in a moment. And we also have to have a roll call for every vote. No more voice votes. Is that all, Ryan? Did I get it all?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. This is part of Senate Bill, I think it's 3125 that was signed. So, if there is not just for a pandemic, but if there's a disaster that's declared either locally or statewide, a board can meet remotely like we're meeting this evening.
All right, so I'm going to say this meeting is held as a virtual meeting given that the Illinois governor has declared the coronavirus pandemic a disaster. I have determined that an in-person meeting is not practical or prudent because of this disaster. I have also determined that it is not feasible due to the disaster and the disaster declaration to have a library trustee, the library director, or the library's attorney present at the library. And now I'm going to ask everybody if they could confirm that you can hear everything. So let's see, how shall I do that? I'm going to just go and see who I see on my view. Anne, can you hear everything?
Yes.
George?
yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Catherine?
Yes.
Andrea?
Yes.
Bonnie? Uh-oh,
She's muted, but I think she said yes with her microphone muted.
okay. Is she waving to say yes?
I'm saying no.
Okay. Okay, did I get everybody? All right. Anything else I'm supposed to say, Ryan? I think I got it all right.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on to the consent agenda, item 5. Anyone want to remove anything? If not, can I have a motion that the consent agenda be approved as presented?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call for that.
Cheng,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, on to the president's report. Questions, comments, concerns? Anyone else have a report? Okay, we're on to your report, Ryan.
Yeah, just a couple of things that aren't in the report to update. I'll get to the library operations here in a moment, but I wanted to point out a few things. So first of all, with the landscaping, actually, let me share. I've got a couple of photos I can share with you. The pavers have not been installed yet, but the landscaping part was finished, and it looks pretty good, I think. Let's see, photos. Where are you, photos? Well, that's disappointing. They were there earlier. I'll see if I can find them. So I can always email them after. I don't want to spend, oh, there's one. Why isn't it showing up? Hold on, let me try this again. There we go. Okay. So you can see the area where they finished, and I think it looks good. And then if the other photo shows that, if it would pop up for me, I don't know why it's not popping up. It's so weird. Let me try this again. Oh, there it is. I guess I have to pull it up first, then share. And in this photo, if you look where the stop sign is and beyond where the ramp is, you can see where that was just kind of like weeds or native landscaping before, and now it's those nice plants. So I think it's going to look really good, especially as it grows and comes in. We're still trying to schedule the pavers. We want to make sure that work doesn't interfere with library operations. So that's good. So that's getting that landscaping off of our plate. The other thing I wanted to mention that's on the report is that the tiles are with the installer now for the flex. So now it's just a matter of getting them in and scheduled. So they just got the tiles, so we'll be able to get that job done here, I would think, in the next couple of weeks. So just some updates on those projects. And then in terms of library operations, Noreen can fill in more details if there's things I don't know, but we have moved on to beyond that first phase of just filling the holds that were on the shelf, having people come in and contact lists pick them up, and we're fulfilling holds that people are placing now. So that's the stage that we're in, and things are going well. So we continue to monitor the situation and what's going on with Illinois. If we continue to move on to phase 4, then we'll be in the position to explore the next phase of our plan, which would be letting some people into the building on a limited basis. That would be sometime in July. Let's see, what was I going to say to that effect? At the committee of the whole meeting, one of the things I'm contemplating, because I realize there's going to have to be a couple of policies that need to be updated for us to do that. So what I might ask the board to do after the committee of the whole meeting, which I think is, if memory serves, July 7th, stay after for a special meeting and adopt those policy changes after the committee of the whole. That way we'll have those policies in place so we can move faster if need be. So Noreen, what am I missing in terms of operations beyond that?
Nothing really. That just happened today, where they moved on and they're releasing all of these other holds now, and they're moving quickly. They figured out new ways to make it go faster, so they're excited about that. The van where we brought Michael Swandrowski in to help us with the upfitting of that, and that's moving quickly. Lots of programs. If you haven't noticed them, go look online. And the picture behind Ryan doesn't do justice. If you haven't been by the library lately, the current landscaping up there looks amazing. Thanks.
Good.
And I'm going to share one more thing really fast here. Just to kind of talk about where we're at with COVID-19 in Lake County, and this is not me declaring that there's no danger here. We should quickly open our doors and allow people in the building. I still think that a phased slow approach is the right way to go. If you've been following national news, we see that although we're doing quite well in Illinois and in Lake County in particular, that there are spikes in cases in Texas, Arizona, Florida. So, the warmer weather is not scaring away COVID-19. And we also have to be on the lookout of, what will happen, looking ahead to the fall, because if you look at these coronaviruses, remember, this is the 19th version of this. These tend to bounce back. There tends to be a second wave. I'm kind of thinking when we're, looking at the budget and planning ahead, that in the fall, we may have to take some steps back. But this is pretty encouraging if you look at the new cases in Lake County. I mean, going back to where we were in March when there started to be some cases and then it went up, we're back down again. Once again, it doesn't mean we're out of the woods, but those are certainly some encouraging numbers as we, start to consider opening up the library more and more. So I wanted to make sure everyone had a chance to see that if you hadn't seen that already.
Ryan, did I hear just tonight, I think, or yesterday, that Chicago Public Library is going to be opened, or is it doing the same sort of thing we are?
They opened last week.
Okay.
I know some people that have been to some of those branches, and I don't want to second guess what the leadership of the Chicago Public Library are doing, or what Mayor Lightfoot is doing, but I don't think they've taken the same safety precautions that we're taking. Maybe you could criticize us and saying we're being too safe, but I would probably argue that they need to do what they need to do, but it's a different situation. It's an urban library system. You maybe could argue that they have greater needs in the city of Chicago than we do, although I think we certainly have some of the same needs in our library district, so that's a little bit disingenuous. But CPL, at least some of their branches are open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. And one of the things that we saw from that, not just us, but other libraries as well, is that the public, they know this. They read the paper,
right.
They see that CPL is open. So we've gotten more comments like, okay, when are you guys going to open up your doors? When are you going to offer this and that? So that certainly is putting a little bit more pressure on us. But we have a plan that we're following. We're not in phase 4 yet, certainly not in phase 5. So I still want to stick to our plan.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to know for sure if that was what I had heard, because I've had a couple inquiries as well, and I just keep saying we're going to open when it's safe. So.
Okay, anything else on Ryan's report? All right, we're on to the budget.
Okay. First of all, did everyone get a chance to, did you at least see the email that I sent very late last night? I wanted to get out earlier, but unfortunately, some other things came up. But you did have, at least during the day to at least look over the budget narrative and look at the updates that I made to the budget between Friday and then this week, which basically, when we talked about it, we decided that we wanted to put in the budget more money for computers, laptops for staff. Hopefully we won't need to use that money, but at least have it in there. Looking ahead to, just thinking ahead to the fall. If we did have to take a step back and, limit some of our services, I would want to be, we will be better prepared and better equipped to do it, and that's reflected in the budget. So. We also moved the library van into the special reserve fund. It makes no sense not to fund it out of special reserve. So yeah, I'm overall happy with where we ended up with the budget. I mean, this budget cycle was quite different than most because of, like I said in the budget narrative, this is very much the story of this budget is COVID-19. We have things in the budget that we wouldn't usually have because of COVID-19, whether it be more money for extra cleaning or those computers, or those Wi-Fi hotspots. Another thing I didn't mention that I should have put in the budget, in the budget narrative, it's in the budget. We've allocated money for software that will help us with telephone reference. So if you know, because even as we bring staff back into the library, we still don't have that ability to do a telephone reference because it just hasn't been feasible right now with the technology that we have. So very much the story of this budget is reacting to COVID-19. In some instances, it saved us money, but in a lot of cases, it hasn't. It's cost us money, and also it's you know, going to impact the revenue side, at least when we're getting our money. And in the future, even though we may not feel it as much this year, we certainly could feel it next couple of budget years. One thing I will say that we've received 25% of our property tax money already. So even though there was that delay that Lake County gave the taxpayers, you know, I'm pretty happy that we've received that amount of tax revenue for the next fiscal year. So that's a good sign, because I know one of our concerns was, are you know, are we going to lose some of that tax revenue? But it does appear that you know, that's going to come, at least eventually. So after getting a chance to look at the narrative, any outstanding questions, any questions that weren't addressed that you had at the committee of the whole meeting about the budget?
Just one. Go ahead first, Andrea.
You said that we've received 25% of the real estate taxes. Now, how does that compare to prior years? And I just want to say that there's a lot of work that went into the budget by the staff, extra work this year, considering that there was, where we ended up was not anywhere where we started, and so many changes because of COVID and other things. So I just really want to applaud the staff for working diligently on this, still getting it done on time, doing an overall great job. And on behalf of the board, I just want to express our sincere thanks for this.
I thank you for the compliment. And as you know, we've got a great team here at the library. Everyone on the management team works super hard on the budget. Noreen works really hard on the budget. Doug obviously works really hard on the budget. You know, Kevin has additional heavy lifting with the budget as well, with all the capital expenditures. So yeah, we have a great team, and thank you for the compliments on that, because we did work really hard. And thanks to the board for your help too. I am very appreciative of everyone being very involved in the budget process, asking really intelligent questions. So thank you for your hard work on the budget as well. Andrew, to answer your question, I knew that was going to be asked, and I don't have an answer to what percentage, because I asked the same thing, because Doug told me we've gotten 25%. I'm like, okay, great. How does that compare to previous years? He's like, I really don't know. And
I would expect that it would be 50% because, you know, it was already due, but, you know, they allowed people to pay it in quarters instead of halves. So I would expect that it's down from this time last year, but if hopefully people will make their payments in time with the quarterly things.
Yeah, it's probably something we should keep better track of, because admittedly, like Doug and I were talking about earlier today, we've never really been too concerned about it, because it's, you know, fortunately it's been pretty reliable. It's never been something we've needed to keep track of. But I think it's something we need to start to better track.
So he can look last year and then just email us a response on that.
Sure, of course.
George?
Sure. Thank you, Andrea. So the question I had, you mentioned improved systems for answering telephone questions for reference. Is there a module for our website that would allow for texting or text chat type reference questions to come in?
That's a good question. I'm actually having a meeting with the staff, George, on our different options tomorrow. You know, the money I put in the budget was based on a couple different options I knew we had. So I will find out. I think maybe Communico does have that option. I'm not sure if that's something that the team that's been looking at this has considered, but I'll certainly bring it up. Not to put Noreen on the spot, but Noreen, do you know if that's one of the things that you've discussed with the team?
Yes, that's one of the things that we talked about. We had Meebo several years ago. We talked about doing that, and it's usually done through a widget. So that was going to be, we're having a meeting about it tomorrow with Ryan and some other people. And so that is definitely something that we want to add, even if we do the phone reference too.
I'll just add to that. We've been doing it a couple years, and In fact, whenever you're on
Say who we is?
CLC.
You'll see.
Whenever you're on reference chat as well. And so it does have a place even outside the pandemic. So just throw it out there.
And we did have it many years ago, and it was used, some people used it quite a bit. So a lot of staff are familiar with it, and it's very smooth and easy to use, I think.
Yeah, George, to be clear, you're specifically asking about the Communico platform, though, if there's a specific module, right?
Just because we already have it in place, it would seem a logical extension.
Yeah, I agreed. I'm almost certain that Communico has the chat reference. I don't know about phone. I don't think it does, but we'll definitely find out and look into that.
Okay, any other discussion of the budget? Questions? Okay, can I have a motion on this then?
I move that we approve the budget as presented for fiscal year 2020/2021.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call, please, Gina.
Aye.
Gina's on mute, I think. Gina?
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, we're on to the ordinance for the meeting schedule.
Yeah, I don't know if there should be any discussion about this. This
Yeah.
is what the board discussed. And
It's Joe. I move that the board approve ordinance 2019/2020-8 regular meeting schedule for FY 2021.
I second the motion. That's fine.
Discussion? Okay, let's have a vote, please, Gina.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Schenk,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, now we're on to the next ordinance, transfer to the special reserve fund. You want to say anything about that, Ryan?
yeah, just to clarify, Andrea had a really good question about the amount that we're transferring to the special reserve fund, and some of it has to, because if you look at our history, we transferred a pretty large sum of money, then we didn't transfer anything. Those years of volatility had a lot to do with the failed abatement. But we've saved, saved, but there have been a lot of expenditures we haven't had to take on because of COVID-19, and that has a great has a lot to do with the amount that we're transferring into the special reserve fund. So.
Any other questions? All right,
Can you give
I have
us like a highlight or a summary, a high-level summary of what's in that number that you're proposing to move the reserves?
Oh, yeah. So when you, we're able to move, like at the end of, this is an opportunity at the end of each year for us to move money into the special reserve fund. And I think, as the board members know, and if anyone in the public is listening and they don't know, the board has passed, I think it's by resolution in the past. It's kind of like a plan for what we're going to do with this money. So when you look at our special reserve fund, it's basically the money we use that we allocate towards all these capital projects that we know are upcoming due to the capital needs assessment. And so this year, as an example, there were funds that didn't get spent in areas like utilities. So our utilities were way down. So that money we're able to move into the special reserve fund. There's funds like continuing education, travel expenditures. We were not traveling to, conferences this last part of the year. So that's money we're able to transfer to the special reserve fund. So a lot of funds that accumulated, really due to COVID-19 at the end of the day, just to give you a high level overview.
Shall I make a motion?
Please.
I move that we move 700,000 from the corporate fund and 250,000 from the building sites and maintenance fund for a total of 950,000 to the special reserve fund.
I think you should say the ordinance number.
You have to.
Oh,
It's in the
Ordinance number 2019-2020-9.
at ordinance 2020-2019-9.
I'll second that. This is Joe, Gina.
Gina, you have fun with writing that up.
Just put what's in the agenda. That's fine.
There we go.
And any further discussion? Okay, we're ready for a vote, Gina.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Cheng,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Markapisi,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay. We are on to the semi-annual review, which Bonnie and I did.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll pull that up right now. Give me 1 second.
One of the things that Joe and I looked at, in particular, Joe brought it up to discuss, is opening the minutes of the last year or more that involved adding a new trustee to the board, accepting resignations of other trustees. So that's why there seems to be so many more this time than in the past.
It's because the public minutes that follow that show what our action was, so there's no need to keep these
Quiet.
yes,
Closed.
closed anymore.
Right.
Okay, I move that the board approve the semi-annual review of closed minutes for June 2020.
I second the motion.
That was me. That was Joe, Gina.
Bonnie.
Any discussion? Okay, let's have a roll call, please, Gina.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Cheng,
Aye.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay. Okay, any items for next meeting? We might beat our record here.
Wow.
Better move fast.
All right, would anyone like to speak in public forum?
No pressure.
All right, any announcements? Okay. I move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay.
That was Joe, Gina.
Who
Who
seconded?
seconded?
I did, Andrea.
Andrea.
All right, we have to have a roll call for that too. What can I say?
Kotsinis,
Aye.
Cheng,
Aye.
Farkapisi,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Linsdau,
Aye.
Beckwith.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right, 7:29.
Woo! We beat our record by 3 minutes. I think we were at 32.